Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Caithness Amateur Dram Antiques Society. Now, I don't know how things are where you are, but it looks like summer may be uh, past. We had a glorious spell of weather in the mid 20s, sunshine, very little wind. I don't know where you are, but there's been a plague of wasps. I'm just back from Mull, and in the near future, I'm going to do a special on Tobermory and a special on the Jig. But as we're still in summer, it's the end of July here, I'm going to continue to search for the perfect summer dram. And in a recent tasting, I tasted a Auchentoshan, and it was a very nice summer dram. But tonight I'm going to do something a little different in the search for the perfect summer dram. And the Whisky Exchange last year, they unveiled a new range called the Seasons. And they have, over the last 12 months, they've released some whiskies, three for each season, spring, summer, autumn and winter. And tonight I'm going to look at the three whiskies they did for summer. They get a lovely little box. You get tasting sets. This is the spring summer box. It comes in a nicely decorated box with pictures of fruit, peaches, apples, pears, pineapples, mangoes, bananas, and cherries on the box. And there's some notes in the back about the whiskies you get. So they say the Whisky Exchange releases a new range of fine single cask whiskies, each of which has been carefully selected for a flavour profile to suit one of the four seasons: spring, summer, autumn and winter. In total there will be 12 whiskies, with three different expressions featuring in each release, starting with summer 2024. The labels of these bottles feature still life artwork depicting the kind of aromas and profile you might expect to find in the whisky itself. So I'll do the autumn one later in the year, and then the winter one, and then next year the spring one. So you open the box, and beautifully packaged, and there you get some the whisky tasting set with tasting notes for the whiskies, and a barcode on the back, a QR code to discover more about the seasons range. So I'm going to take the three whiskies out of the box for the summer. This is quite an economical way to try the whiskies, and if you really do like them, find your perfect summer dram, you can buy a bottle, or you can buy a set of 3 bottles if you like them all. So that's something to look forward to in the not too distant future. So the three whiskies we have are a Lowland single malt, which I think is a Glenkinchie, 2012, cask number 3478, matured in a refill hogshead, 11-year-old, bottled at 58.8%. And then the second whisky in this set is a Benriach, 15-year-old from 2008, cask number 47387, 15-year-old, and strength 51.9%. And again, matured this time in a hogshead. Doesn't say if this is a refill hogshead or not. And then the third is an Ardmore, and with a good age statement of 26 years old. Distilled in 1997, and 26-year-old, 50.3%, again matured in a hogshead. Not sure if it's a refill or a first spill. The thing with these, of course, is they're all natural colour. Not sure if it's batch strength or cask strength. They don't tell you the quantity of bottles. So I think this is a batch strength, although how many bottles does depend. So first up we have the Lowland. According to the retailer, they're the perfect drams to enjoy a warm evening or any time of year when you need a taste of sunshine. And the series includes a Benriach, a Lowland, and an Ardmore. So they are 3 single cask, first in the collection, the seasons. And so first up we have this Lowland single malt, and we'll have a look at this one first. So the Scottish Lowlands often recall light, floral and refreshing single malts. Remember the Auchentoshan video if you watched that one. It's a mystery distillery, but it appears that it is almost certainly a Glenkinchie. And they say it's filled with bright notes of stone fruit and a hint of vanilla, and is the perfect dram to serve at your summer party, matured in a refill hogshead. So Glenkinchie's new make spirit has a struck match aroma and a light cabbagey, watery aroma. It's fragrant behind that with some agricultural aromas. And the new make has big sulphur in the mouth, and then it's dry grass, cooked vegetable with a sulphury finish. So let's have a look at what we've got here. This is an 11-year-old, almost certainly Glenkinchie, and you can see it's got quite thin tears. I'm on a Capita tonight, just for a difference. They're not bad tears. It's a thin tide line, but they're quite sticky, the tears. Let's see what we have on the nose. And it's very fruity. It's got ripe apricots. One thing, you find that each nostril is slightly different, and it's worth comparing them. And my right nostril definitely picks up the fruit, and the left one is not so sensitive. But you get ripe apricots, hints of banana, and that's a sun cream with yellow cherry and a blood orange. It's sweet, rich, and fruity. Lots of stewed fruit, nectarine, peaches, and a good pinch of vanilla paste. And there's also some jammy apricots, granulated sugar, and just a tinge of ozone there. It's a very, very inviting summery nose. We'll try them out. And it's ripe and round with nectarine and peach candy. And it's got a lovely combination of sweetness and fruitiness. There's some pollen and honeycomb. I'm not getting much sulphur in this one. Just more summer fruits. .8%. So you do get a bit of oomph with this. and warming spices, but it's not, the spiciness is not overpowering in any. And the finish is medium length. There's some vibrant fruits, a pinch of white pepper. Very nice. I'm going to try a mill of water in this. And with water, it's nice and fresh. You get more of the orchard blossom now. Vanilla marshmallow. My wife's just made some top hats. It's just sort of chocolate with a marshmallow and a Smartie on top for a do we're going to tomorrow. And you get that marshmallows and that sort of banana sweetness as well. And then you get some icing sugar, lemon candy, and pear compote, and peach, vanilla, and sweet, lightly toasted oak. And the finish is very inviting again. Fresh, malty notes, peaches and cherries, and vanilla custard. And there's plenty of orange notes and lime, some pineapple cubes and banana ice cream, and some round oaky notes underneath. And the finish is medium again, with a sort of lingering peach and banana mixed with a sort of balanced oak spice. This one's pretty spot on for summer. It's like a refreshing fruit salad, maybe a bit sweeter than that though. And it's very quaffable, even at the strong ABV. I'm not the biggest fan of Lowland whiskey, but this is a very seductively fruity one. And overall, it's a good advocate for a summertime whiskey. I recommend this very much. I'm going to cleanse my palate with the Borders biscuit, lemon drizzle biscuit. So, next up, we have Benriach, a 15-year-old from 2008, 51.9%. And it's from Hogshead, cask number 47387. And the Whisky Exchange say of this one, it's one of Speyside's great distilleries. Benriach has made fruity and elegant whiskies like this one since the late 19th century. They selected this single cask to include in their 12 bottle series, the seasons, for its summery notes of mango sticky rice, vanilla ice cream, warm toffee, and a touch of smoke. A great dram to enjoy by the sea or at any time when you need a taste of summer. So, the distillery character of Benriach would best be described as fruity, floral with honey notes, and you would expect to find some of these undertones, these notes in every Benriach bottle. The new make spirit aroma is sweet and cake-like, fruity, courgette, fennel, lemon, with a sweet biscuity note and a bit chalky. And on the mouth, it's highly concentrated, slightly waxy, soft fruitiness leads the way. And then there's a sort of dusty quality. It's quite chewy. And the finish is crisp and clean and malty with lots of spice. So let's see how this one turns out. Very light in colour again. And again, it's quite thin tears. This one's at slightly lower ABV, 51.9%. And you get sort of vanilla ice cream and wafers with this baked orchard fruits. And it's orange with a hint of honey. Slightly buttery. And there's plenty of rich fruits such as oranges, pomelo and papaya. And there's also a touch of pear skin. And then you get sort of notes of fudge and some millionaire shortbread and a sliver of oak char. Not terribly smoky though. Try them out. It has a creamy, velvety mouthful. And initially you do get a tinge of smoke and some char. But then you get some stewed fruits and cantaloupe and a whisper of mango. And there's some peaches and pears with almost like a beer-like mashy note and hints of muesli. And there's a slight herbal edge and a tinge of alcohol. Spices, gentle nuttiness and heather, mango, caramel, toffee, and lots of juicy fruit. And the finish is medium length with that lingering hints of burnt toast, ending on fruitier notes again. Again, I'll add a mill to this. Perhaps just a little more. It becomes richer and slightly heavyweight. More rice pudding now with quite a lot of vanilla and orange candy. Sort of waffle dough and hints of toffee. There's stewed peaches and pears with that mashy notes and muesli again, and that herbal edge, and a tinge of alcohol now on the nose. I'll try them out. And the fruitiness is quite tropical now. Lots of candied sugar, barley sugar, apricots and honey tea. Quince compote. Some mango cubes with vanilla ice cream. And that barley sweetness. There's a slightly bready hint in the background mild pepper, and a hint of candied ginger. And the finish is still medium. Lots of sweet barley with orchard fruits and toffee. So after that initial fruity start, the spice seemed to develop more on the palate. Although the fruits do come back eventually. Benriach has never been my favourite distillery, but this is quite a convincing pick for a summer dram. It's got a rich and sweet profile with hints of tropical fruits. And the honey and vanilla take away some brightness and give it a heavier, creamy character. So it's fine for summertime indeed. I'll cleanse my palate again. And finally, in this tasting, we're going to try the Ardmore 26-year-old from 1997, bottled at 50.3%. Again, matured in a hogshead, cask number 901299. And the Whisky Exchange say of this one, this well-aged Ardmore is waxy and honeyed with tropical notes that make us think of summer holidays on the beach. It's the oldest whisky in the collection, but it still has plenty of freshness and notes of peach and pineapple. So Ardmore's new make spirit has aromas of wood smoke and light oiliness, with a light grassy note behind it. And in time you get apple skin, lime and a very light cereal. The palate is sweet and smoky. It has positive weight and oiliness with a touch of citrus and dried flower, giving it a lift. And it's a complex new make. And the finish is clean with light smoke. So again, this one's a little darker. 26 years old, of course. And it's again got quite a thin tide line, but nice tears again. And now you get ripe peaches and beeswax with a hint of vanilla ice cream and some pineapple. It's certainly waxy. And it's recognisable as an Ardmore, but it's got that very mature, faint peat influence. There's some plaster and subtle sootiness, as well as just grilled pineapple, stone fruits, and the lime zest. And it's like glazed Danish pastries. It's really nice and highly sophisticated, this one. I'll try them out. And on the mouth you get sun-dried sultanas and then a hint of freshly cut hay with a long, rich, honey-laden finish. And it's got a velvety, almost waxy mouthfeel. There's hints of charcoal, hessian and banana cream, but you also get mango and grapefruit and some, like it's a hoppy IPA. And you get notes of smoked barley, husks and waxes and lime zest. And the finish is long with stewed fruits, and alongside it you get a sort of subtle phenolic and medicinal notes, but it's very subtle. I'm going to put a mill in this one. And now you get sort of almond sweetness, a bit of paraffin and lightly grilled pineapple. And just a hint of chalk, charcoal and engine grease. Yellow apples, hints of peach jam and subtle vanilla. And it's got a light menthol, hints of tobacco leaves and barley syrup in the background. And it's a lot more finessed because it's 26-year-olds. It's a lot more finesse than the Benriach. We'll try them out. And again, with what you get more of the peat, a sooty charcoal echo there. It's oily with a fruity sweetness, peach, ripe banana and raisins. And in the mid palate, you get some coffee beans, as well as some black pepper and honeyed tea. And then you get sweet citrus towards the end. The water shortens the finish a bit. It's more medium rather than long now. But it's still rather waxy and fruity with hints of pepper and that very light smoke. You know, this 26-year-old is Ardmore at its finest. Not convinced it's a summer whisky. You get some even fruitier Ardmores. But as a whisky on its own, regardless spring, summer, autumn, winter, it's an excellent whisky with lots of tiny complexities. So, all three of these drams are excellent whiskies, and the Ardmore is a superb whisky. But I'm not convinced it's a summertime whisky. Between the Benriach and the Lowland Glenkinchie, either are great summer whiskies. But I think, on balance, I'm going to have to recommend the Lowland one as this perfect summer dram. Thank you for listening.